Adidas started almost 2 decades before Nike, yet Nike has twice the total valuation, right? Meaning the total worth of the company, and twice the amount of market share worldwide. Why is that, you ask? That's what we're gonna break down for you in your clothing store in this video. Now, make sure you grab something to take notes with and stick around to the end, where I'll be sharing with you some really actionable items that you can put into place in your clothing store to make real money. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. All right, so number 4 is unique selling proposition. How can you stand out in the marketplace? Whether it's a unique approach to streetwear or the enthusiasm through live selling, or if you are like, I don't know, if it's Nike, where you created a different type of shoe, right? What is that? It doesn't have to be rocket science here, but you need to find out what will help you stand out in the marketplace. Every brand has something they are known for, and then as they've grown, have expanded that reach and expanded where they market. For example, Amazon sold books, Microsoft sold personal computers, Supreme created clothes for a niche group of people and communities in the New York area. Find something that is true to you and your brand and promote it. All right, so example number 1 is Kill Crew. We've talked about them before if you've watched that video. It's clothing for boxing, MMA, fighting in that community, right? So they create really cool, loud content, and it's really for that community, but also they talk about killing fear, anxiety, all of those things. So it's kind of a double whammy in that very specific niche, and then into a very specific type of a community that they want to tap into to help people fight off something, right? So it's a greater good for a very specific niche market. And honestly, it's very appealing for people even outside of that market, which is why they've grown like crazy. All right, so the second one up here is Viore. It's high-end athletic wear. I actually just bought some for my wife for, what was it, our anniversary. But it's a better alternative, or a cooler alternative, I think, of than Lululemon. Just better styles, better quality. So definitely check them out if you're not aware of them yet, but check them out. But they're just high-end athletic wear at a very good cost, and it's just super high quality. So, right, how are they standing out? The last one here is Sante Grace. This is actually somebody that we work with. It's a part of our program. She's a program member doing an amazing stuff, but she's created something that's very unique. She lives in California and is very much a part of a community of people. So she's created luxury plus size clothing at a very good price point. So very cool content there, but again, they've all found their own little niche of their marketplace and now expanding. No matter what your avenue, you must find that key selling point on why someone would choose you over the competition, because I promise you, there are a lot of competition out there. All right, before we cover this next one and talk about the most important part of your business, I just wanted to say howdy. My name is Aaron. I'm one of the co-founders here at Bit Branding, and we are an e-commerce growth agency that specializes in helping clothing stores, just like you, grow and scale profitably online. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss on any of the latest strategies for clothing stores. We drop new content for you every single week. All right, so number 3 is messaging. If you don't know what your message to the world is, then your potential customers probably don't either, right? If you don't know your messaging, they aren't going to either. Messaging is what you tell the world your brand is about and how they should feel. Is your brand loungewear that they should feel comfortable wearing no matter what they are doing, or is it athletic wear, right, that sells ambition? Let's look at Nike here for a second. So they do not sell just clothes, right? Millions of brands sell clothes. Nike sells inspiration, strength, diversity, ambition, motivation. That is what they sell, right? Everything that they create is around one of those key areas or something very similar, and they rarely change course. So for you, what kind of message are you sending to your audience? Who are you creating this brand for, and what emotions are you trying to evoke? If you created this brand to just make money, I promise you that it will have to evolve or it will die. Eventually it will die. There are too many brands who fall into the category, and it's honestly too many brands that fall into a category you're going after who have a different purpose or a different emotion or different messaging that will eventually beat you out if you don't have that. Especially if you have no real reason to buy from you, right? If they have no real reason to buy from you other than this looks good, I promise you it's not gonna happen anymore, right? We make decisions for our clothing based off of aspirations and the people that we want to become and the emotions that it evokes, right? People wear Nike because Nike's for like athletes or people who want to be athletes or active, right? I wear Nike shoes because I see people who are wearing Nike shoes running fast. I want to run fast, right? So what is that emotion that you are provoking there, right? If it's just a plain white t-shirt, it's like, cool, it's a white t-shirt. But if it actually says like, this fits me well, this helps me look good, helps me feel good, gives me confidence, that's a whole different thing, right? So that is what you have to figure out. So speaking of standing out though, giving this video a like will really help stand out in the YouTube algorithm, and guess what? It's free. So if you found value in this video so far, right? If you just got one little thing like that made you think, please hit that button to help us reach more people like you. Just for doing that, here's a picture of the greatest basketball player of all time. All right, so number 2 is content creation. Marketing, branding, business growth has always been and always will be about content creation and getting the right message in front of the right people. Nothing has changed in the last 100 years of marketing and advertising to people. It's always about the right person at the right time with the right message. Right now, the answer is social media. Social media has our attention. Heck, you're probably checking social media while you listen or watch this video, right? You probably have YouTube pull up. YouTube now has the feature where you can scroll up, watch the video, and do other things. You're probably doing that. Don't do that though. I mean, don't do that. I want you to stay right here. I want to help you learn. But so many brands are fighting for that attention, which means that you have to create content that cuts through the noise. I mean, literally, we should do something here where it like literally cuts through noise. I don't know if that's possible. But content that resonates with your audience and content that moves people to action. Action is them pulling out their wallet and giving you money. Engaging with the content by commenting, liking, sharing, like moves to them to action. So let's look at some examples of great content creation. All right, so first up we have here is Nike, because I just feel like we should just go with Nike since that's kind of what we're talking about here. What they've done is they've taken, right, the greatest basketball player playing right now, which is Giannis. Shout out to Giannis. You may or may not be aware of him, but basically he plays for the Bucks. He's a very good basketball player. And what they're doing, right, he's wearing Nike. It's clearly what he's wearing, but then...
My dad jokes are right here, in the bottom. They're terrible. Welcome to the Zoom Freak 4 Don't Laugh Challenge. I'm going to tell you some jokes, and I bet I can make you laugh. I'm not saying this one is terrible. Why did the basketball player stay home from the game? He never travels. Why did the shoes got married? They were soulmates. Okay, wait, let's go back. There was one more good one. What is a spy favorite kind of shoes? Sneakers. Did that make you laugh? Call the number below.
So what they're doing, using popular icons, popular figures, promoting the brand. I mean, literally the book that he's using is a Nike logo. He's talking about dad jokes. It's very relatable. He's a basketball player, he's selling the brand. It's just literally, what is the aspiration, right? It's who is this person? And that's it. They're just creating relatable content. It doesn't have to be fast-paced, music. We're gonna look into some of those things, but it's really just who is my audience and who am I trying to attract when I'm creating content, and this is it, right? So people who understand basketball or know basketball are gonna resonate and probably watch this video of Giannis. It did really well, and that's it. So, and then Nike selling us that they're first. All right, next up here is one that Franklin told me about. It's actually out of the Dallas area, so Dallas, Texas. What he's doing really well, I wanna play this video here, is it looks like a shoe, shopping and retail shoe guy, but right, cool beat, but he's focused on people in Dallas, right, wearing the Mavericks, like all geared up in the old school Mavericks apparel. Super simple, we're talking 15 seconds and just showcasing, right? It just makes you want to watch it again because you're like, okay, I like the Mavericks, I like this content. And then he says, preseason kicks off tonight, which means it's time to get laced up to the Mavs gears for the season. New arrivals from Mitchell and Ness are now available in store at our Mockingbird location. We're open until 8 p.m., so swing by. Very cool. Hopefully he sells that stuff online. If not, he should definitely do that. But more importantly, it's just really great content. 10, 15 seconds, all he's doing is showcasing it, right? It's just a unique way to showcase the content. And what he's doing, he's going after the aspirations of people who want to, you know, be like the Mavericks or enjoy the Mavericks and wear their apparel. Last one here is the Boutique Hub. So the Boutique Hub is an organization that helps boutique owners, whether they're just starting out or $1 million a year, $10 million a year, and just helps them throughout the whole process. It's a very unique situation that they're in, provides education, community, etc. And so what they're doing is they're relating to their audience. So it says, opening a boutique be like...
fun, then scary, then fun again, then spooky, but in a fun way. At first,
so very relatable, right? It's just kind of like entrepreneurship, right? It's super fun in the beginning. It gets really freaking hard. It's a roller coaster. You feel like you're gonna make it and then you fall off the roller coaster. And so it's just relatable content. It's obviously gotten really good engagement here on Instagram. I'm sure they posted that same thing over on TikTok and did it as well. But It's literally the emotions, the problems that people have as a boutique owner. They know their audience, they created content for it, it's relatable, and they got engagement because of it. It's that simple, right? It's building that community, that brand around this type of content. So one thing I want to mention here is that this content creation should be done organically, right? So this is done organically. We're not necessarily looking at ads from this, but then when you see that something pops off or it starts to do really well, right? Begin and run ads behind it, right? Start running ads with them. We have several videos on how to use Facebook ads to grow your clothing store, all through using the advertising platform like through Meta and through Instagram. So make sure you check out those after this video, not right now. But one last thing on the ads, because we get this question a lot, right? It literally got asked to me yesterday. What do you do about the iOS update that messed up the tracking and ads, right? So, I mean, organic, I know have a good idea, but like with the ads, like how do I know if they're actually working? Honestly, for a long time, we had no clue, but we found Triple Whale, this software to use. It has over 99% accurate attribution, which is just a fancy way of saying we know which platforms are generating the real results. Whenever the iOS tracking issues came into play, it really messed up our data. So we're able to see where the sales are coming from, and Triple Whale actually fixes that. So it's a connection between those places. So if you want more clarity in your marketing, you want to learn more about Triple Whale and how it can help you with your marketing and advertising, check out the link in the description down below. So number one is consistency. I cannot tell you how important this is. The best brands know that you must continue to put out the same message consistently. Consistently has two components in my mind, right? The same consistent messaging, i.e. ambition with Nike, motivation, etc. And then the second one here is frequency. How often are you putting out content, right? So the messaging behind it and the consistency of that messaging and the frequency that you are putting it out. To beat your competitors, you need to be more consistent with your messaging, the same message over and over and over again. It sounds redundant, and it probably is, but it is what makes you stand out. How many times have you read, heard, watched something that said, just do it? It's literally everywhere. If a brand as powerful as Nike is still consistently putting out this message every single day, everywhere in the world, that they are, it's probably because it works and something that you should probably model. What does consistency look like? And that's a question, right? It's a tough question. It could be posting once per day on the platform your audience is on, i.e. Instagram or TikTok, but you need to write out exactly what you want to do. I would rather you start out at 1 reel per day on Instagram than feel like this video told you to go out and post 5 times a day and you only kept it up for 3 days, right? That's not consistency. 1 reel a day for years is how you build a brand. If you want to do it faster, right? Maybe it takes you less time to do, quote unquote, build that brand. After you get into a cadence, you can increase the amount of content you create. What you will realize is that those who create the best and most frequent content build brands faster, have a larger company, and make a bigger impact. Now, speaking of impact, before y'all go, I just wanted to tell you about our free masterclass training for clothing stores that will walk you through the 5 pillars that you must have in place for your online store to scale consistently and profitably, no matter what is going on in the world. Now, if you want to get access to that free training, check out the link in the description down below, right here. It's 19 minutes, and I truly believe it'll help you grow your clothing store. Like I said, check out the link in the description down below. Now, if you're ready to jump into those ads to grow your clothing store, right? We mentioned those earlier. Make sure that you go watch this video right here next. Oh, P.S. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button right now. All right, y'all. Have a great day. We'll see you in the next video.